Welcome to the Buriram Stadium for what is a pivotal clash for both the home side, Buriram United of Thailand, and their visitors today, Gangwon FC of the Republic of Korea. It is the AFC Champions League Elite match day 6, and both sides are among the 12 in the Eastern region, from where the top 8 teams in the table will make it through. And as you can see on your screen, this is a fascinating match because Buriram currently occupy 8th spot in the standings, just good enough to squeeze through to the knockout stage, but they are just 1 place and 1 point above Gangwon, and with both sides playing their 6th game of 8 in the group stage, while time is fast running out to pick up the points that could take these teams, possibly both, into the round of 16 when this group stage of the competition ends in the middle of February. There is little to separate the teams, both boasting 2 wins from their 5 games so far, and all those victories came on home soil, meaning that Buriram United are the slight favourites today, given that they are, of course, at home. Today's match will mark a first for Gangwon as the tournament debutants take on a Thai opposition for the very first time in their history. It is quite the contrast for the reigning Thai champions, as Buriram United will be looking to improve their record against Korean opposition. In far, they've managed to win just 5. Their last victory coming last season against Ulsan HD. They have faced Korean opposition on 3 occasions since, including against Ulsan last time out in the Champions League Elite, where they have won none of those games. It was goalless in Ulsan at the end of November. But victory today could give Buriram United a very strong platform to repeat their heroics of last season, when they not only went through from the group stage, but also won their round of 16 clash too, beating fellow Southeast Asian side Johor Darul Ta'zim of Malaysia, and that enabled Buriram United to make it to the finals in Saudi Arabia amongst the last 8, but in the quarter-finals they were beaten by local side Al Ali, who went on to lift the trophy, who of course will be winners when Saudi Arabia hosts the finals again next year. So the stage is set for these sides to come out. Buriram would dearly love not just to emulate their quarter-final run of last season, but also go one better if they can do. They have never reached the final 4 of Asian club football's elite competition, having also been there in 2013. The big build-up from the stadium announcer as the local side prepare to come out to the delight of their supporters. Buriram United in blue on the right of your screen, as it were. Their visitors from Korea Republic, all in white. Well, can Buriram United use home advantage in their favour once again? They have 2 victories so far on match day 1 at home to Malaysia's Johul Darul Tazim, or JDT. They scored twice on that occasion, and they scored twice on match day 4 as well, when they saw off Shanghai Port from the People's Republic of China 2-0. Their last victory in the competition. Should they achieve one today, well, you would have to imagine the Thai side's chances of being in the knockout stage will be very high. Gangwon, of course, will be hoping very much for the same. But they have not travelled well, failing to avoid defeat in either of their 2 away matches so far. That was on match day 2 against Chengdu Rongchen, China PR, and then when taking on Japanese opposition on match day 4 just over a month ago, losing by 1-0 against Sanfrecce Hiroshima. So the Buriram United lineup, just one change to the side that drew 0-0 in Korea Republic last time out against Ulsan. Coming in, Supanat Wayanta, and dropping down to the bench, Juan Ibiza. Keep your eye out for the likes of Robert Zhu, wearing number 32, and Supanat himself, one of the stars of Thai football. Confirmation of the bench, not as many players as they could have had for Buriram United. As we see the match officials, Mohammed Al-Hamadi. And a crew all from the United Arab Emirates. Well, Gangwon make 3 changes to the team that were beaten 3-1 at home by Machida Zavia of Japan last time around. Coming into the side, Lee Gi-hyuk, Park Ho-young, both in defence. And further forward, Kim Do-hyun comes into the side, the 21-year-old. Amongst those dropping to the bench, Song Jun-seok, while the likes of Marco Tucci and Park Sang-hyuk not in the matchday's squad at all. There's Mark Jackson, the Englishman at the helm of Buriram United, and on the right of your screen there just a moment ago, Chung Kyung-ho, the Gangwon FC coach who's celebrating just over a year in charge.
Today we gather in respectful remembrance of Her Majesty Queen Sirikit, the Queen Mother of Thailand. On behalf of the AFC, we honor her lifelong dedication, compassion, and service to the people. The football community stands with the loyal family and the people of Thailand. During this time of reflection, please join us now for 1 minute of silence in her memory. โปรดยืนสงบนิ่งเพื่อร่วมถวายความอาลัยการเสด็จสวรรคตสมเด็จพระนางเจ้าสิริกิติ์พระบรมราชินีนาถพระบรมราชชนนีพันปีหลวง Thank you.
A somber moment to mark the start of a game which the local fans hope will hit the heights. How can they perform today? All eyes on that man up top, Guilherme Bissoli. Scores for fun in the league for Buriram United, but yet to find the back of the net in this season's Champions League Elite. Goran Chorsic on your screen there. Hasn't had such problems. Neil Etheridge, a familiar figure in goal for the Thai side. what have Gangwon got today? What is their final game of 2025? The K-League season having now ended, of course. So we are underway on match day 6 of the Champions League Elite as Buriram United of Thailand take on Gangwon AFC of Korean Republic. Both these sides on the fringes of a place in the top 8. Buriram playing from left to right in blue. Currently just a point ahead of their rivals. They have 7, the Thai champions. Gangwon 6 points from their 5 games so far. They sit just outside the top 8. And they've already been a couple of results in today. Vissel Kobe extending their lead for now at the top of the East region and picking up a point they'd have wanted more at home to Chengdu Rongcheng. And Machida Zavia winning by 3-1 at home to Ulsan as an early foray forward by Buriram United. Kingsley Schindler delivering the cross, and interesting, the home side. Is this another opportunity in these early phases? Neatly worked, strike at goal and forcing a corner as well. Well, Bisole instantly into the action, looking for his first goal of this Champions League campaign. He did score a few last season in the quarter-final run, and that would have been a dream start for the Brazilian. First time strike, and comfortably tipped round his post by Park Chung-hyo. But a good early sighter for both Bisole and Buriram United. In-swinger comes in, and that's headed away well. It's an early spell of pressure here. Jules, Peter Jules, that is. Goran Chorsic. Myung Seok Ko into his skipper, Kenny Dougal. Well, no surprise that Buriram United taking their time just to settle things down a little after that rapid start. And Gangwon, a first chance for them to settle on the ball, the Korean Republic side. They can give it absolutely everything. Gangwon FC. I said the K-League just having come to a close. They finished 5th ultimately. A fair few points behind Jeonbuk, who topped the table. Nice ball comes into the middle, forcing the defensive clearance from Dougal. And again, within the first 4 minutes of this game, both sides have had a corner, which hopefully promises much for this game. They do both need the win. How they could do with it. Lots of thought on the face of the 45-year-old Chung Kyung-ho. They go short, but men still in the area. Swung in and headed away. Gangwon will pick this up. That's a little bit loose, and there's an opportunity here for Buriram United to profit from that loose pass. Still they come trying to work the opening. And the ball into the middle, and it's Chorsic who had the attempt, and he didn't get it past Chung-hyo. But once again, Buriram United having a second chance on goal and forcing Chung-kyo into action. And we haven't even hit the 5-minute mark in this game. Schindler down the right-hand flank, goes down. And wins his side a free kick, and early pressure on the Koreans. Schindler, you can see that very clear shirt tug by Mo Jae-hyun. Opportunity for the home side to get some players up from the back. The Emirati referee just showing that he's happy with everything in the area. Peter Jules, one of two Jules, younger brother of Robert, also in the side today, preparing to deliver this and looking to give Buriram United the dream start. Well, it's very, very deep. Headed back in, and it needed a clearing header as well, and it got one. Park Ho-young coming into the side today with an important touch to clear Gangwon's lines, and this is a good run forward as well as they go from defence to attack in the blink of an eye, but in the end, Jae-hyun wayward, too much on the pass. And it seemed a promising break from the tournament debutants. It comes to naught. Here's the effort that deflected its way into Chorsic. And the Serbian got a touch, but well smothered by Chung-kyo in the Gangwon goal. United come into this match off the back of super form in their domestic league. 13 games played so far this season, 11 wins. And they came into the game off the back of a fairly comprehensive 3-1 win over Kanchanaburi Power to remain top of the table. All the goals coming off the bench, which may be a factor in Jackson's thinking if this game goes on without Buriram trying to, or finding a way past Gangwon, or of course needing another goal. That's neatly forward from the visitors. Yet to test Neil Etheridge, Buriram United goal, unlike the home side who've already done that. Jules picks it up deep and just takes his time to it calmly back, where Ko also ensures that Buriram United are not wasteful in possession. Bissoli, nice little touch inside, but sandwiched by two and doesn't get the free kick he wanted. Free kick goes Gangwon's way. Filip Stojkovic just a fraction late. Dougal into Chorsic with the confidence just to drop his shoulder, and again twists and turns. Dougal under pressure, good pressing from Gangwon. A smart little bit of play in the middle of the park as well, just to buy a little bit of space from Lee Gi-hyuk. The ball again. 3 changes to the side today for Gangwon FC from the team beaten fairly comprehensively at home by Machida Salvia, their fellow tournament debutants, and how well the Japanese side have done. Currently second in the table. Two tournament debutants, both Gangwon and Chengdu Rongcheng, sitting in the bottom 4 of the 12-team Eastern Region standings. Gangwon shading the early possession despite the better opportunities coming from the hosts, but that is nothing new for the Koreans in this campaign because they've had a lot of possession in their matches. It's just they've struggled when they've had it to create too much that is meaningful. At the top of the charts in terms of possession, but very much towards the bottom of it when it comes to shots on target, and that is something that coach Chung Kyung-ho will be acutely aware of. Been trying to improve as it's just touched out by Ko. Safety first approach from the Buriram United defender. He's playing against a side from his home nation today, the Korean Ko. Jae-hyun over on the far side. He wins the throw, and it will allow Gangwon as well to get a few more bodies forward into the area, because it was just the one when Jae-hyun went searching for it. It was the 6th of December 2024 that Chung Kyung-ho was appointed, and he might be celebrating now, but he hasn't. Good save from Etheridge, struck well. Two good hands on the ball to push it away. It's a real safety. But Gangwon with their first strike of the game. And it was a really good strike as well. Coming forward again after something of a slow start. Kim Dae-won, the skipper, just having to go further back than he would have liked. Kim Do-hyun. Well, in the end, 3 Buriram United players managed to get in the block, and Basole can lead the counter. Space for Shinle on the right-hand side should they find him. Here is the Ghanaian. Into the middle it goes, little deflection. And it made it look uncomfortable for Chung Hyo. But at the second attempt, the 35-year-old had the ball safely in his hands. Well, there were various bodies to aim at in the middle. Supernat, we enter one of them. An advantage played on by the referee, unimpressed by Gi Hyuk, just stopping and expecting the decision to go his way. Chaushich. Schindler. Dougal. Go again. Good structure from the Korean side, making it hard for Buriram to play through them, and it was something that Mark Jackson, the Thai side's coach, was talking about before the game. We know Gangwon are well coached. They have some very good players, good structure, and good behaviours in their team, and I think today's match will be decided on who executes their ideas the best. We shall, of course, see. Nice ball forward. Jae-hyun leading the charge, into the middle it goes. Touch on it. Not enough to guide it on target, nor win the corner. It was Kim Gun-hee trying to get on the end of that ball in and turn it behind. He's had little to work with so far, the 30-year-old centre forward for Gangwon. And there's the strike that came in earlier from Lee Seung-won, who's had a month he won't forget. On the 1st of December, the 22-year-old was named the Young Player of the Year in the end-of-season K-League Awards. And he follows a tradition that Gangwon will be very happy with, because the 2024 Young Player of the Year award was also won by a Gangwon player. No longer Yang Min-hyuk, since joined Tottenham Hotspur in the English Premier League, even if he's gone out on loan since to lower tier Portsmouth. Yang Min-hyuk lit up the K-League last season, and Seung-won has done the same again. It'll be really interesting to see how he plays today. Also said off the back of winning his award that he would love to follow Yang Min-hyuk's footsteps and play in Europe. That's for another day. Here's Schindler coming forward for Buriram United. He just dawdled and took a little bit of time, which allowed the defender to close the gap, and he couldn't deliver the cross. Just needed to get it in a bit earlier. 32-year-old winger did well to break up the play. And then here he could have crossed, and instead he just took his time, and there again. And by then the angles had been tightened. Schindler again with the big long throw as well, headed on, chance here for Buriram, not taken. Well, it was a snapshot from the edge of the area by Jules. Peter Jules, I should say. The Austrian brothers. Just one idea in his mind as it fell for him. Well, unlike his opponent today, Noel Jackson has been in charge of his side for less than 2 months. He does feel that there is an understanding growing about how he wants his side to play. And he feels that it's just coming through. This is 7th week or so in charge. No surprise that it's taking a little bit of time. But he says the mood is good, confidence is high. And his side are very much ready for this game. Supernat caught late there by Ho Young. Was a substitute last time around. Also scored last time around. And now he's in the book as well. Ho Young for that late challenge. Gangwon kept the crowd fairly quiet so far. Space again out on this right-hand side for Kingsley Schindler. Lots of bodies in the box as well. The cross this time does come in. Gangwon managed to get it away. Seung-won to day one. Gi-hyuk loses out. Buriram chance to score again. And this time Busoli does get his shot away, but straight at Chung-hyuk. Well, it was excellent pressing. Gi-hyuk caught in possession. He had time and space. He just clipped a strike straight at the Gangwon goalkeeper. 16 goals in 20 appearances this season for Buriram United. But as I said, none in the Champions League Elite so far. He had a very good chance last time out against Ulsan as well. Top scorer in the Thai league with 14 goals in just 12 games, and that's a tally that is 5 better than anyone else. He Knows where the back of the net is, the 27-year-old. He has just struggled so far, and a goal today could do his confidence no end of good, especially with the latter games to come. And for Buriram, well, they meet sides beneath them in the table. They are both from the People's Republic of China, Chengdu, Rongcheng on match day 7 in Chengdu, and then at home to Shanghai Shenhua. When the group phase comes to a close in the middle of February. Jules, the man down. Good he this time around, the man doing the marred damage. Round the corner from Curtis, good. And he will get it back, the Australian. Peter Jules. Nice little touch from his brother Robert. Except he didn't appreciate the touch that came his way. And day one, I think, is going to go over to offer his apologies to the Austrian. Just caught him. And Robert Jules felt that. And another Gangwon player goes into the notebook. Yet to be cautioned. Day one, just like Ho Young. 3 cautions at this stage of the competition will rule you out of the next match. And it ironically is only Robert Jules on the pitch today who's in danger of earning an automatic suspension. Sportingly, giving the ball back to Buriram United, appreciated by the home supporters. To back out their stadium, fondly nicknamed the Thunder Castle. Yet to be thunderous today. Just a little bit scrappy in there, and Jules judged to have been fouled. Seo Min Woo. The man with the challenge, and Gangwon just picking up a few cautions as they inflict a few fouls, and Min Woo will just have to ensure he doesn't join the likes of Ho Young and Day One. He's got some big steps to follow, Mark Jackson. He came in after Brazilian Omar Loss left a couple of months ago, and the Brazilian not only won the domestic treble with Buriram United last season, he also won the Southeast Asian ASEAN Club Championships for a quadruple. And they possibly going to find some joy again. Bissoli into Jules. Into the middle it comes, over Bissoli. Schindler will put this back in the middle, and that's an outstanding save to deny Bissoli, who must have thought he had his first goal of today and this Champions League Elite campaign. He cannot believe it, because Park Chung-kyo got his body in the way, and despite the power, it was enough to deflect this over and behind. And look at that, just off the high part of his arm and shoulder. It's his fingertips of his gloves, and you can see the reactions. And I'm not surprised, an outstanding stop from the Gangwon goalkeeper. And Bisoli, his weight goes on. But Buriram very much knocking on the door. In-swinger goes deep, and this is good goalkeeping once again from the 35-year-old. Yet to keep a clean sheet in the competition so far from his 3 previous appearances. Unused off the bench for the first couple of match days. It's Park Chung-kyo. Got a bad record in the league, 8 clean sheets from 19. He started the season on the bench, Gangwon goalkeeper, but he's made the place his own, and with saves like that from Bisoli, you can see why. Supernat just dispossessed some really good defending as well there from Ho Young. Like to pass their way through if they can. Gangwon. They've had some tidy moves. They've just had the one strike to show for it. Day one. To Gun-hee. Patient football from the visitors, Shin Min-ha. And that's loose from him after some really careful play. Buriram well in possession, but they may well have lost it as well. Chorsic, only as far. Jun-hyuk. Jun-hyuk under pressure from Kingsley Schindler. Nice footwork. Industry from Seung-won. Oh, that's a really good run down the left-hand side from Jae-hyun. Managed to get it away, but some lovely footwork and dancing feet down the left flank from Gangwon. Bisoli comes deep together. Kingsley Schindler options ahead of him, and he didn't choose either of them. Just having a little bit of a breather. As said, it is the end of that calendar year of football. Their 5th place in the league wasn't anywhere near as good as the 2nd spot that they achieved last season to get into this competition, which was by far and away the best result ever by a relatively young club. Gangwon only founded in 2008. Was still one of their best ever finishes in the K-League. As Gangwon come forward here, and that's a striker goal, and that's turned behind smartly again. Well, they had to be alert. Gun-hee in behind. Difficult ball to take, and the first touch was good. It enabled him to get his shot away. But good defending here as well. Look at that, under pressure. Curtis Good coming to ensure that Kim Gun-hee was adding to the goal he scored on matchday 3 against Vissel Kobe, a dramatic stoppage time winner. Hyuk with the delivery, takes it short. Daewon. Back into the skipper. Gi Hyuk stands it up. It's just too far. High into the Buriram night sky it goes. They've come into the game more and more, Gangwon. Daewon flicking on into Gunhee against the post. Head in hands time again. Gangwon so close to opening the scoring. And Kim Gunhee denied by the woodwork. Really good flick on from Daewon to find him. And they are threatening ever more. The second chances in as many minutes for Gunhee. Gangwon respond by taking their time again. Nicely played, Gunhee. Daewon. Looking inside. Going on a run and fairly impeded, and good desire from the 28-year-old skipper for Gangwon. And you can clearly see the tug coming in from his opposing counterpart. There's the little flick, expertly done. And Gunhee, the ball at his mercy. Got a strike away. Etheridge deflected back off him into the penalty area. Did not know too much about it. Daewon with the delivery, deep this time, good ball in, expert save by Etheridge, but not enough to stop the ball coming back out to Gangwon, who thought and think that they have indeed opened the scoring. Etheridge was not to be denied, lots of looks over towards the line to see whether this goal would stand. Well, the delivery was expert, the header really good, a good solid hand coming in on it. And then Mo Jae-hyun was there to snaffle it up and fire home from close range. Super header that was. And you're not going to miss those. Oh, the power, the leap from Shin Min-ha for the header. Well, Neil Etheridge did his very, very best. No wonder he gets the congratulations. Expert set piece taken by Gangwon. Superb execution. Well, the Buriram United coach was talking about it. They are going to have to come from behind if they are going to be taking all 3 points the Thai side fancied before the game, given the home advantage, but instead they find themselves behind. And Gangwon have got their first goal on the road of their first ever Champions League Elite campaign. The honour, not that he'll ever forget, Jae-hyun's. Well, as it stands, that goal would be enough to enable the Koreans to leapfrog their opponents today in the table and crucially go into the top 8 of the 12-team league. And if you are in the top 8, of course, you go through to the round of 16, joining the teams from the West region. Possibly sore heads all round for Buriram United. They made a super start to this game, peppering the Gangwon goal. And to be honest, a huge amount of credit has to go to the Gangwon goalkeeper, Chung Kyo, for keeping his side level, and that's enabling them to have the platform to take this narrow lead. They have only ever lost on the road. Buriram United have only ever won at home in this league campaign so far, so the script not necessarily being followed. But Gangwon, good value for their lead. Not if they're going to do things like that. Picked up by Peter Jules, lovely turn as well. Still Ju into the area he goes. A look of sorts to the referee, arms outstretched as well. He thinks there could, possibly should have been more. Day one. Lots of space in the heart of the field for Minwoo. Day one in the middle again, so too Gun Hee, and that's going to be a foul and a free kick Gangwon's way. It's not going to change the mind of the official. Stojkovic in his outstretched arms. Shake it ahead for the former Montenegro international. Well, the claim was for a possible penalty, and as you can see, that is now being checked by the video assistant referees. We'll give Buriram United the chance, obviously, to draw level should this be given, but the check is complete. Does not seem to be enough to trouble the match referee, and instead it will be Gangwon with a chance to double their lead shortly before half-time. Terrific ball in last time from Day one, the skipper. Takes it again, another good ball in, and this time Gun Hee does get the connection. He just cannot keep it down. But these are searching balls coming in, and they are asking serious questions of the Buriram United backline. Here is the possible penalty claim. To Jules, the man going down, and you can see a shirt tug on him. Certainly contact, but not enough in the eyes of the officiating crew. Tapasoli couldn't hold it up. A break in play for the referee as he looks for player safety. Seung-won, the man who was down. I said earlier, the young player of the year in the K-League. Also made his Korea Republic debut earlier this year, did Seung-won. Come up through the youth ranks for his country, both under-20 and under-23 level. In fact, he shone at the under-20 World Cup in 2023, did Seung-won. He was named the third best player in the tournament, winning the bronze ball, was captain of the side as well. And it would appear that at the tender age of 22, he's beginning to show in the senior game some of the potential that he showed at junior level. It must be said that most of the reason that he was voted the Young Player of the Year came when he was on loan at Gimcheon Sangmu. He left in late October to return to Gangwon. Goals and assists at Gimcheon Sangmu, none since his return to Gangwon. Infringement spotted, and this will be a decision that goes Gangwon's way. That's well played by Buriram United. And instantly they try and get Supernat free down the left-hand side. They need a spark. Can this man provide it? Supernat back into Stojkovic. Peter Jules. Forward again. Into the middle it comes, and an important header away. And he thought about the striker goal, Ko, and in the end he could and arguably should have hit it, given the alternative you went for. He's never scored for Buriram United, Ko. The man who joined in January, and you can possibly see why with that effort. Well, that man will be absolutely delighted with his side if they can keep going like this. Hoping that this competition, this Champions League Elite, can atone for the fact that they finished a little bit worse in the league, in the K-League last season. And with just a place below the Champions League spots, they might have done enough to go into the Champions League 2 next season. Goals a lot harder to come by in 2025 than in 2024. Gangwon. They've got one now and looking for a second, and despite the numbers forward, no player in white was fouled. Supernat trying to lead the charge at the other end. Chongkyo. Gi-hyuk. He with a header. Chalcic with the ball, and it's just a little bit loose and well read as well. Gangwon. You can see the confidence beginning to strengthen in the visitors. It's going to be a free kick that goes the home side's way. Dougal into Ko, into Kingsley Schindler. That's a little bit loose, and Chalcic will pitch this up. Nice pass into Supernat. Supernat driving forward, cuts it back in, wins the corner. But he is a real live wire, the 23-year-old. As soon as he got it there, Supernat trying to drive forward and play it in the middle. And he was once the youngest scorer in Champions League history, Supernat, when scoring as a 16-year-old in 2019. Just the one goal so far this season for him. It looks like they're close to clicking up top, Buriram United, but they've just yet to show it. Deep cross in again and punched onto the head of the Buriram United player by Chongkyo. And pushed behind to safety effectively. It could have gone anywhere. Good delivery again, and there was more shoulder of Curtis good than head. Former Australia international. Does not get many, but did score earlier in the campaign against Shanghai Port at home. There's a chance he couldn't miss, it was on the line. But it enabled Buriram to win on match day 4. Victory then, a draw last time around. Did not want to see a loss on this occasion. Chongkyo, who's so important for his side today. Gi Hyuk just got to keep it tight for these final few minutes. We've seen them lose possession deep inside their own midfield, and inviting Buriram to have chances against them, and that is surely something that they need to tighten up in the second half. But otherwise, Gangwon have done pretty well. Gunhee trying to keep it alive for his side. Ko, heavy touch. Dougal. Just the 2 minutes of additional time. Peter Jules. Supernat cannot get on the end of that. Minwoo. Take his time, and well, that's eye of the needle stuff. And then that's, well, he knew the challenge was coming, drew it, won it. And Seong-won relieves the pressure on his side, and might that be enough to stop Buriram finding a way back on the score sheet before the half-time whistle blows. Ko with a header. Jun Hyuk. Day one. And Dougal away, but only as far as Minwoo. Well, there was a little bit of space down the right-hand side, but that was completely misread. Smile. Well, earlier in his reign, he was accused of being overly defensive. He's trying to become a little bit more expansive in recent times, as he tries to get his method and messages across, and so far today, everything going to plan. And right on the stroke of the 2 minutes of additional time, the half-time whistle blows, and it is Mo Jae-hyun's goal that separates the sides, coming shortly after the half hour. Shin Min-ha meeting a terrific delivery from his captain Kim Dae-won, forcing the save from Neil Etheridge. He could only spill it as far as Jae-hyun, who has his second goal of the campaign. And despite their best efforts, Buriram United and their good start, they couldn't find a way past Park Chung-kyo in the Gangwon FC goal, meaning that at the break in Thailand, it is Buriram United 0, Gangwon FC 1.
I stay for more.
Football teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. Then go on to do our best in the next game. Follow this trail, boys. Let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football.
With Kelmi, leave your mark.
So we are back underway for the second half. Buriram United trailing at home by 1-0 against Gangwon, AFC of Korea Republic, meeting aside from Thailand for the first time in their history today, and possibly on the verge of winning a first ever match away from home in the AFC Champions League Elite. The team in white playing from right to left, Buriram at the home side, all in blue. You can only imagine there's going to be a spell of pressure or intensity at the very least from Buriram, the Thai powerhouses. Their quarter-final berth last season having meant so much to them. Supernat, Bisoli, Gangwon clearing, a little drop of the shoulder from Jae-hyun, and got a little bit of space, but then couldn't out-muscle Curtis Good. And then Dougal getting into a real tussle with Gunhee. Gunhee winning the free kick as well, to that man's dissatisfaction, the 32-year-old. The Australian, though, surely cannot have too many complaints. His right arm coming out to just pull back Gunhee. Dougal also goes into the referee's notebook, the first player from Buriram United to do so. That's the man whose header forced Etheridge to spill the ball as far as Jae-hyun for the only goal of the game. 33 minutes in. Gangwon's first goal away from home in the AFC Champions League Elite. Will it be enough? Do they need to add to it? Or will be revealed? Stojkovic gets us back underway. Side to side from Buriram United, and Kingsley Shinlet unable to keep that in. The man who joined Buriram just a couple of months ago. And a man who brings with him some Bundesliga experience as well in Germany with FC Cologne, or Cole. You've yet to see that sort of quality from him so far. Schindler, 32 years of age. Chorsic looking forward to Bisoli, who's got a bit of work to do. Chungkyo, day one. Gunhee cannot control. Dougal. Just being crowded out, Buriram United, once again. Gangwon keeping their shape well, applying the press well as well. Well, there's a player down in the middle, but so far, despite his close proximity, the Emirati referee choosing not to do anything he does now. And it's Lee Gi-hyuk, the player down. Just fell awkwardly, and as he did so, he was hardly sort of trodden upon by Robert Jules. Fair amount of ice being applied. doesn't look in the greatest nick, does he? The 24-year-old Gi Hyuk. A rare start in the competition for him today. Does it have to end early? So not the way. Gangwon would have wanted the second half to get underway. We are back. And at present, Gi Hyuk still receiving some treatment. Good. Stojkovic. He's back on the pitch now, Gi Hyuk. Stojkovic round the corner. Supernat. Just asking far too much of Goran Chorsic. Bitsoli. Good, just doing enough there to hold off Kim Gun-wi. Good heat. Well, he brings Premier League experience with him, doesn't he? Neil Etheridge with Cardiff City a few years back, and a wealth of experience. He just could not do enough to stop Jae-hyun Gangwon from opening the scoring after this man. Kim at Daewon put in a really good ball, and he's been very impressive today, Kim Daewon. And this is what they're doing so well, Gangwon, just the pressing here and just boxing Buriram United in, and look at the impact as a result. And they win a throw in high up the pitch near the corner flag, because they are making the Thai champions very, very uncomfortable. Well, that's a little bit better. Smartly dealt with. Dougal goes long this time rather than choosing to play it out and pass various players in white. Chung Hyo. Bit of space for Peter Jules. Over the top he goes. Now what's the first touch like? Supernat. And he just about, I was going to say keeps it in, but he doesn't. Well, a lot on the pass to him from Peter Jules. Supernat, despite his pace, just unable to profit. Well, Mark Jackson starting his coaching career with Leeds United's junior teams around a decade ago. Was then assistant to Jesse Marsh at Leeds before heading out to take charge of lower tier Milton Keynes Dons on his own in the English Football League. We're settling into Thai football. Chung Kyung-ho must surely now have settled into his first senior role, having been a assistant for 2 years under Yoon Jong-hwan, who effectively led Gangwon's revolution. Everything changing last year. Squad overhauled, and they were one of the most enjoyable teams to watch in the K-League last season, as in 2024. Best finish, longest winning streak, most points, most wins, most goals. Choose to follow as well for Chung Kyung-ho. But if he were to get his side into the knockout phase of this Champions League Elite, it really would be some return and some feat. Well, that's surely a head injury. We see the whistle blow so often these days for injuries that are not related to the head, but on this occasion that one was. And the whistle does go. put his head down fairly bravely, Kim Do-hyun. And it was just as the foot came down that it caught him on the top of his head. No hard feelings, all very understood. Good with the header away. A little bit of tussling in the middle. Supernat. And a bit of space. Bisoli in behind. Can he level things up? He can't, because that's a really good piece of defending to divert that behind for a corner. Bisoli, well played in by Robert Jules. Got his shot away first time as well, but he could not get past Gi Hyuk. Really good block from a man who's been pretty heavily involved, Lee Gi Hyuk, after coming back into the side today. Buriram's fourth corner of the game. What can they do with it? A bit of space here for Chorsic. And it's heading around in the box, and they do eventually get it clear. Day one. Jules. Peter Jules goes down again, and they'll have another opportunity with the set piece. Just caught a little by Jun Hyuk. Buriram came from behind on match day one at home to Malaysia's JDT before two quick-fire second-half goals from Supernat and Robert Jules turned things around. They will very much be hoping for a repeat. The delivery goes deep, their players queuing up. And Buriram United draw level. It was routine stuff in the end, and Myung Seok Ko has his first goal for Buriram United, and what a time to score it as well. Just before the hour mark, and the Thai side are level, and look what it means. I imagine an outpouring of relief as much as anything as well. And now have they got the platform to go on and build on this really good header from the 30-year-old. Excellent delivery in as well. And there was just a lot of space for the players in blue at the back. For once, Gangwon's defensive structure not sound. And Ko, just as I was talking about whether a comeback could be on, has possibly started one. I talked about relief. There's a fair few looks of disbelief for the goal scorer. And the Korean scores against Korean opposition. Perhaps that's what he's been waiting for. He's got the supporters dancing. The goal confirmed as well. So what have we got in store for the final half hour then? Buriram United will be certainly staying at least 8th if it stays like this, with Gangwon just a point and a place behind them, of course. The home side will want more. Nicely round the corner from Jae Hyun, whose goal no longer the difference. Free kick Gangwon's way. Well, after today, Gangwon are at home when the tournament resumes in February, and frankly when their new season resumes as well. They've got themselves a near 2-month break. Obviously they'll be training before that. It'll be interesting to see how much the squad will change ahead of the new K-League season next year. Two games in the space of a week for Gangwon will see their campaign over. They host Shanghai Port before ending up at Melbourne City. Into the middle it goes. Dealt with just enough by Dougal, and then when a Gangwon player goes down, Min-woo I think it is, having clattered into the ref when the ball was spilling to him on the edge of the box in a very dangerous and promising situation. Well, the ball in here was nicely cut out with, and then the poor touch from Peter Jules. And as you can see, Xiao Min-woo could not get out of the way of the referee, or vice versa. And he's still holding his face. The Korea Republic international. And smile. Perhaps a shade embarrassed on that face of the man in the middle. Well, it's a drop ball which you would have thought should have been going back to Gangwon. As it is, it's with Buriram United. Sitting far more comfortably. Ho Young into Do Hyun. Stojkovic feeling the force of that. Still wincing. We just about managed to keep it in play. Schindler with the header. Picked up well. Robert Jules looking for his brother, failing to find him. This will be Gangwon's ball, and good to see the smiles and the spirit of the game. Well, they have terrific support at home, do Gangwon. Not too many, as you'll have seen, have made the trip to the Thunder Castle. In the way again, the official, hence the groans from the crowd. Stojkovic. Peter Jules. Dougal into good. Looking for Supernat, who's yet to really show in this second period. Peter Jules with a bit of space. Here is Supernat. Good first touch. And the second finds the bottom corner. And Buriram United have turned this around. They were trailing at the break. Midway through the second half, they are 2-1 ahead. And it is Supernat Muenta with his second goal of the campaign. Well, the first touch killed it. And the second touch was a dagger in the heart of Gangwon FC. Took his time with the pass, Peter Jules, and he found the young Thai international. And a clipped finish past Park Chung-hyo. And the Thai side are suddenly looking very, very good. Ahead of the final 2 rounds of matches in this group phase, but if they are to go up to 10 points in the table, they will be right in the thick of it, and possibly in the top half of the table as well, depending on how all the results of match day 6 go. And well, this game, one of the first in the round. Kisses to the crowd, and I'm sure they'll be being waved and blown back at him in abundance. Well, he scored on match day 1 as well, when they came from behind to beat JDT. Has he done? Is he doing the same on match day 6? What do Gangwon have? They are staring, having been on the verge of a historic first away win, or even possible point. It's looking a little bit like business resuming, given their earlier travails on the road. Jae-hyun will be keen to change that. Seung-won. Do-hyun, who went down, but nothing untoward in the eyes of the official. That's nicely played by Bisoli. And Robert Joux just very happy just to slow it down. Schindler. Gun-hee out wide, before going back into the area where he'll be hoping to pick up on the cross. In it comes, and headed behind for the corner. Good play down the left-hand flank from the visitors. An important intervention for the man who got Buriram United's equalising goal, Myung-seok Ko. Paid more for his defensive abilities than offensive ones. The changes beginning to happen. Kang Young-gu among those waiting to come on. The attacking midfielder Etheridge comes out, gets a hand on it. Not fully away. This will come back in, little deflection. And smartly headed to relative safety by Bisoli. Gangwon still in possession. Daewon trying to manufacture some space to deliver the cross, but they're forced backwards here. Do-hyun all the way backwards. Well, that'll be pleasing to the Thai side. As there's another hold up in play, and you can hear what the crowd make of that as well. And it was just as he was challenging there that he was caught. Ho Young. And you can see the elbow of Bisoli catching Park Ho Young, and hence VAR at work again to check the possible penalty. When he's going to go and have a look at the screen, and we tend to know what this means. On his last appearance away from home, Ho Young made a terrible error against Sanfrecce Hiroshima, playing a pass blind back towards his defence. Wasn't fully cleared. He then tried to rescue the situation and only headed it as far as the goal scorer for the Japanese side for the only goal of the game. Well, here we are, an away game on, and it looks like he may well have won his side a penalty. Undoubted contact from Bisoli. Didn't seem to know, in all fairness, that Ho Young was where he was, and obviously he's putting the left elbow behind it for that little bit of leverage in the air, the Brazilian. But there is undeniable contact. Is it dangerous play? Is it enough for a spot kick to be awarded? Well, he's had a look on various occasions here. A big moment in the course of this game. Given the clear contact, I wonder if the thinking here is just the intent. Because Ho Young was coming from behind, and Bisoli, as said, couldn't have seen too much of it. So, what is the decision? It is indeed a penalty to the visitors, and Buriram United livid with that decision. And Bisoli, who cannot buy a goal in the competition this season, has conceded a penalty. And Gangwon have a lifeline back into this game. And Ho Young, well, he stayed down on the floor, which is a very good way of getting the attention of the VAR officials in these modern days. And Bisoli, well, much aggrieved with that decision. Well, he can barely bring himself to watch what's about to ensue. Day one, the Gangwon skipper with the ball in his hands, and it's a battle between him and Neil Etheridge. They are continuing to argue their case, but the decision has been made. He thought he had done what he needed to do. Bisoli, instead, he not only conceded a penalty, but a yellow card as well. I think he preferred last season's competition. Bisoli. Day one just turning his eyes away from the goalkeeper, just trying to wait for everything to calm down. Hong Chul among those waiting to come on as well for Gangwon. Yong Gu is on, the young attacking midfielder. And Hong Chul in his mid-30s is on as well. So, Gangwon and Day One with the chance to draw the Korean side level for what could be a vital point on the road. Day One up against Etheridge, and he makes no mistake sending the goalkeeper the wrong way to bring his side level at 2-2 with just over a quarter of an hour on the clock. His first goal in the competition, and he was very composed and clinical in his execution despite the delay, despite the build-up. Took it very, very well, did Kim Day One. And the skipper has led by example. And it is anyone's game from here. Well, he's had to wait a long time for another goal in the top level of Asian club football. Day One. We'll come to that in a moment. Here's Supernat in a similar position to that where he found the goal. You can hear the crowd enthusiastically whipping up the sound levels as they try and exhort and urge their players to defend the point they have. And Day One, well, this is his second season in the top flight of Asian interclub football, and it's come 6 years after his first. That was with Daegu in the 2019 Champions League. He scored a couple of goals then. He's on the score sheet again now. A long way in between, as said. Supernat into the middle. And eventually Gangwon will get this away. Just. Good. Looking forward to Bissoli. Who's gently nudged Minha to the floor. And with Bissoli on a booking, he's going to have to be a little bit careful in the final 15 minutes. Gunhia judged to a foul. Good. Joined Buriram last year after a number of years with Melbourne City. Caught in the neck, as you can see, by Gunhee. Minha can only just put that into touch. Stojkovic, Buriram keen to get on with it. Stojkovic just crowded out by two in front of him. Gunhee with the flick, and again he'll go. Schindler only as far as day one. First involvement for Hongchul. That's a free kick Buriram United's way. And it is Ko, the player who was caught by the substitute who's just come on, Yungu. He's been busy with his cards. Today's referee, and it is out again. Young-gu, the latest to attract the interest of the referee, Bissoli. Chorsic. Good. Gently forward into Robert Jules. Strike a goal from distance, and that needs a tip over. Chungkyo getting the touch, but that was really well struck by Peter Jules. Look at that, kept it low. Just a little bit too central, I'd imagine, for his liking. He would have preferred one of the top corners and possibly clipping the top half of the bar, but still needed saving. And a very, very good strike from the Austrian as well. Into the middle it goes again, against the post again, not fully away. And then it couldn't be turned in close range in the middle of the pitch, and Gangwon survive, and now they try and counter. Daewon into Seongwon. Is this a Gangwon's moment? Jae-hyun, into the middle it goes, and they're claiming another penalty, but still the ball with the Korean side. Into the middle once more, and this time it is clear, but not fully away, and still the Koreans will maintain the pressure. Seongwon with the delivery, and that's a little bit too easy. But still, Buriram cannot clear their lines. Well, they might be able to now. Yes or no, they did, but only as far as a white shirt. Jae-hyun just drops it into Young-gu, and Young-gu tries to strike. And Etheridge has to turn it around for a corner. Well, it is end-to-end. It was Buriram United attacking from a corner just a moment ago. And now it is the Koreans. They just could not get it away. And in the end, Kang Young-gu forcing Neil Etheridge to dive full length. one knocking on the door for what would be a historic victory, could they get it. Schindler goes down and fairly challenged. Well, this game feels very much in the balance, and you can see why, because this was the other end of Bissoli against the left-hand upright, which was hit in the first half by Kim Gun-hee for Gangwon. And look at that, so close. And played into the middle. And somehow the ball going through both legs instead of meeting contact. Well, he's hit the post, conceded a penalty, been booked and missed a couple of good chances. One of them courtesy of an outstanding save by Park Chung-kyo. You can feel frustration tipping in as well, creeping in for the hosts. No club comes close to rivaling Buriram's success in recent times in Thai football. 10 league titles, 7 FA Cups, 8 League Cups, all 3 one for good measure last season. But at present they cannot see off Gangwon, the Korean debutants in this competition. We saw Ko's leveller. And then Peter Jules finding Supernat, who was economy personified with that clinical finish. So Minhu is off. And you can see those who have come on, as well as the changes continue to be made. Good. Stojkovic loose. As he looked for Supernat, and that's smartly done at the back. And here is Supernat picking up on the loose ball into the area. He goes down. He goes. Jules again. Well, we've seen already what he can do from this distance on his left foot, and that's really hungry as well. Stojkovic. Buriram just trying to find a way through. Well, this was really smart from Bissoli. Brilliantly executed as well, and then Supernat just one touch, taking it away from him and allowing Young-gu to take the ball off his toes. That toe. Well, you want to win your home games, and that was undoubtedly the aim for Buriram ahead of kickoff. The time is running out to do so. They've scored 2 on each home match so far. This is the first time they've conceded 2 as well. Hongchul with the infringement. So that is the end for Supernat Mwanta, who got the goal that at one stage looked as though he was going to be taking Buriram through. And coming on, Despot, who goes instantly into the throw. As the hosts look for the goal to give them the 3 points. Not fully headed away. Swivel on the turn from Robert Jules. Well, he took it a little bit early, never got over it. the space. Not thinking he was, I think he was going to have more time than he did, and in the end, that's why he took it a little early. The man who brings with him Bundesliga experience with Hoffenheim. They've got La Liga experience in the side as well with Chorsic. Bissoli has played in the top flight back home in Brazil for the likes of Palmeiras and Cruzeiro. Schindler as well, having appeared in the top flight in Germany. Lots of experience and ability in this Buriram United side. Surely a heavy touch from a man who has won this competition twice. And Buriram dispossessed on the counter just when you thought they would be trying to get forward at pace. Well, Jae-hyun lost out, and Stojkovic thought he had profited. Instead, it's the visitors in possession. They had lots of it in the first half, especially in the second period of the first half. Game management from here, one imagines. And he couldn't control that, Jae-hyun. Dispossessed. They need bodies in the box because they just had two in there and they went over both of them. Jules cannot keep it in, Robert. Jules, that is. Kungi. Jae-hyun, a little bit of space for him. Do-hyun on the right-hand side, but he tries his luck from distance. Jae-hyun scored 5 goals in the nearly 20 appearances in the K-League last season, Jae-hyun, including the winner in the final league game at the end of November against Pohang Steelers, which they won 1-0 to keep hopes of Asian football alive next season. It's not just Asian club football he wants to be involved with next season, Jae-hyun, but also the World Cup. Korean Republic drawn against Mexico, South Africa, and as yet an identified European side, given they have to come through the qualifiers. There'll be one of Czech Republic, the Republic of Ireland, Denmark, or North Macedonia that will be in the group with the Koreans. Any of these Gangwon AFC players, at least 3 of whom on the pitch have made their debuts earlier this year, been involved. Lee Seong-won would certainly hope to be amongst them. Flicked away, chance here, striker goal. Well, it fell so kindly for Filip Stojkovic. But a fullback is not always the player you want it to be dropping to. Was never troubling Chung-kyo in the Gangwon goal. Some tired faces. Yoon Il-lok coming on for Do-hyun. And he'll just line up on the flanks of the 32-year-old. Well, Gangwon moments away from taking a well-earned break. Buriram, they've got league action to resume on Sunday when they take on second-placed Port FC. But they'll be desperate to go into this 2-week Champions League Elite break higher up in the table if they could do something special in whatever is announced with additional time. That's a free kick that has gone their way. Schindler, the player, down. Played for Ghana earlier in the year, but won't be going to the Africa Cup of Nations, seemingly given a relative lack of inaction with The Ghanaian national team, who, I'm getting ahead of myself, aren't even at the Africa Cup of Nations. Normally they are. They are at the World Cup, of course, next year. Day one. Cannot fully get it clear. 6 minutes of additional time. Yungu just about gets it through to Hong Chul. Very composed, Kang Yong-gu, since he's come on and just dictated stuff from the base of that midfield. Good he, that's a bit forceful on Good. Look at this. Shoved over. Bad on Good. Enables Buriram to have the free kick deep inside their own half. There's their one final thrust from the home side. Kyung-ho, well won by Gun-hee, day one. Gun-hee again. Barking the orders. Yungu thought about the pass, but instead wanted to hold on to the ball. A clear push coming from Jo Hyun-tae. Despota, as you can see, just in midair. Pushed away. And they've chosen not to launch it, but instead play it on the floor. Just over 3 minutes. Jules into Good. Dougal. Chorsic. Peter Jules. Nice idea, but didn't get all the way through. His brother picks it up. It is patient. Will it be probing? Little deflection will give the throw to Buriram United. Well, you'd imagine this has to go into the area. It doesn't. They've tried to play around the corner, and that's going to be run out, and the danger ebbs away. Well, that had to go into the mixer, you would have thought. They tried their best. They tried to get cute and play around the corner. It did not come off. Gangwon about to become the first team to stop Buriram United from winning at home. Well, can they take even more than that? 90 seconds to go. Il-Lok. That's an intervention from Dougal because day one was running into a bit of space. Yungu. Il-Lok on the deck. Oh, that was almost very, very neatly worked by Gangwon. Dougal win this. Well, that looked like a handball from Stojkovic. Pretty reckless, pretty needless, but not spotted. And this time, the free kick is blown, but in favour of Buriram United. Will quite possibly be that. With the challenge, and this is it for the Thai side. Etheridge will hit this very long. Is there a header on him? And it's Chul who just hacks that high and far away. The 6 minutes of additional time are up. Etheridge winning an important, and then thinking, is Lionel Messi? Well, the goal is going. Can they win it from here? He's still miles from Etheridge. Can't get away. They might be able to out from distance. Gangwon. Foul came in from the back. Well, I thought there was a foul. Instead, nothing was given, nothing was blown, apart from the full-time whistle. A dramatic ending to a game that went this way and then the other. Gangwon took the lead in the first through J, and their first ever goal away from home in the Asian Football Confederation's Champions League Elite was wiped out by a Korean for Buriram United. Myung Seok levelling things shortly before the hour, and then just after, Supanat Muenta gave the Thai side a 2-1 lead, and for a while it looked like that was going to be enough for them until Bissoli, their Brazilian striker, fouled Park Ho-young, and skipper Kim Dae-won stepped 12 yards to send Neil Etheridge the wrong way. But to find equalising, both sides wanted all 3 points. They've had to settle for a point apiece. Will that be enough? We'll find out on match days 7 and 8. Buriram United staying 8th for now, Gangwon 9th. Lots to play for in February. It's ended in Buriram. Buriram United 2, Gangwon 2.